Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm doing something different today that I've never done before. I thought I would try this out. I am going to try to sort of walk you through using Silhouette to make a Hobonichi Weeks sticker kit. I know that on YouTube there are lots of different shop owners and makers who have made tutorials on like the Erin Condren type or standard vertical sticker kits, but I couldn't find any for Hobonichi Weeks. So I thought it would be something different. Maybe it would help somebody, and maybe it would be useful if you're trying to learn Silhouette. So for starters, this is a kit that I've been working on. This is the last couple pages of it. This is the Written in the Stars kit, and this is the Erin Condren version, and I'm working on this Hobonichi Weeks version here. And I've started off with a few bare bones things just to get it started, because this is my first time ever designing a Hobonichi Weeks sticker kit. So I'm basically just winging it. And I didn't want the video to be like an hour and a half long of me trying to like set up the basic beginnings of it. So I thought I would get that sort of started first before I start making the video. So to go over some basics of Silhouette, the first thing that I wanted to do was to have like the page sizes. And these are going to be the pages. It's going to be a 2-page sticker kit. And as you can see, it's like 7.1 inches by 3 and 35 inches. And this is just enough. This will fit inside a Hobonichi Weeks sticker folder. It will fit inside your Hobonichi Weeks so that you can tuck your sticker kit into your book or in the back of your book or whatever and carry it around with you. And when you're dealing with a page size that's this small and with stickers that are this small, it's sort of important to try to like maximize your design space and be really careful with your spacing and everything, because some of these cuts get really delicate and small. In order to make boxes like this, you want to go over here to your drawing tools and select your square and draw a rectangle, and just like this. So you select it and then you click and drag and you can make your rectangle, and then you would click your selection tool. And then to change the size, you're going to go over here, and this is the transform panel. Open it up, go to scale, and then you can change it like this. This is one way to do it. Or you can just click and drag until you're happy with it and adjust it that way. But for really precise measurements, I recommend using this panel, just because it's easier and faster. Okay, so I've done that. I've got some boxes laid out here. And the idea that we're going for here, and all these red lines is where the machine is going to cut. My idea is that this column right here, these are going to be your date covers. Then these boxes are going to be like your decorative pretty boxes. And then these are going to be the washi strips for the top of the page. And, oops, didn't mean to move that. And then these will be the washi strips for the bottom of the page. I'm thinking that these are going to be just sort of like blank boxes that you can write in, like with colors. And then these are going to be like checklists. We've got some icons going. I think this is going to be like a big box that's like pretty, but also has a lot of writing space for the right side of the page on the weekly. And then we have an empty space here, and I'm not sure what we're going to do with that yet. Okay, so I want to get started. The first thing that I want to do is I really want to have my logo appear on the top of these pages. So in order to do that, I'm going to bring some stuff in. I'm going to copy this with the Control-C command key and then just paste it over and then just move it over here. And then same thing, except we're just going to resize it. Put it up here. Honestly, we could probably put it over this whole thing, right? No, I don't want to do that actually. Let's just put it here. And I'm gonna send it to back because I don't want it to cover my outline. And we're gonna make this probably like super small, and I'm gonna zoom in here. And then if I'm gonna see if I can fit this on here somehow. Ungroup. Oh, will it let me do that? Okay, hold up. This is what I want. I want to copy and paste my little shop logo over here. We're zooming in really far now. I'm getting really close up into this, and I'm going to shrink this down. This is looking a little bit, oops. It looks too thick. I'm trying to figure out if there's a way. Here we go, here we go. Yeah, okay. So I changed the thickness of my logo. My shop is called Daisy Doodles, to make it less thick so that it looks more appropriate. It doesn't look so messy. Okay, and I think I'm gonna make this a little bit smaller too. I'm gonna ungroup this so that I can individually select this, and I'm gonna make this the line thickness just a little bit less thick. Okay. Okay, I think that's looking pretty good. So I want to I want this to repeat over here. I want it to be exactly the same. So I'm going to, whoops. First I'm gonna group all these together. If I can. Yes, okay. So I've grouped it together, and I'm just gonna copy and paste it with Control V. And we're just gonna move it right on over here. And I'm gonna send it to the back of the layer. Okay, so we have page 1, page 2. So the next thing that I want to do, I guess we'll start with these date covers. And this is, we're gonna do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I'm going to see if I can rotate my workspace. Yes. Okay, so I've rotated my workspace, and then I'm gonna zoom in, and we're gonna start working on the date covers. If I could get my toolbar to disappear there for me. Okay, so the first thing I want to do oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Let me zoom out just a little. Okay, so I want to offset these. Okay, and this offset is going to be the color of the boxes. And while I like the idea of having them be different colors, I think for my first time we're going to keep it simple. and have them all be one solid color. All right, so we've got that. And now we need to put some text inside of there. So I'm gonna come to the text tool and I'm gonna write out Monday, and then I'm gonna press Control A, my keyboard shortcut key, to select it. And the first thing I'm gonna do is change the size. I made it really small. I made it 8-point font. And then I'm gonna select it again, and I'm gonna change the font. Let's try this. I might need to make it a little bit bigger. We'll play with it. So let's try 12. Let's see how this would look in here. I think this is still just a little small, so let's try going up to 16. "16 is closer. Maybe 18. Okay, I'm starting to think this looks good. I like how this looks. So I'm just gonna set an extra aside right there. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put it in the box where I want it, and we're going to make it white. And now we have Monday. And we're just going to repeat the same thing all the way down. For Tuesday, I'm going to type 2. Hold on. I don't know what I did there. Okay. When in doubt, use Control Z to undo what you've done. Now I'm going to put this here, and I'm going to try to make it aligned the way I like it. Whoop. There we go. And we're going to make the lines white and the text white. And I want this to be a little bit further away from the cut line, so we're going to move it over a little. Now we're going to type in like WED for Wednesday. And move it into place. And then we're just going to change the colors again. And we're just going to do this all the way down. Okay, so I'm thinking that this looks pretty good. I'm just going to add these to the dictionary because the little spell check line just irritates me. But you don't have to do this. Okay, now we can just get a clearer idea of what it's going to look like without that silly spell check line. Okay, so the next thing that I think I'm going to do, I think I'm going to put some little circles inside these date boxes so that you can write the date in of the week if you would like to. And you can do this by drawing in a circle with this tool, but I prefer to do it with the ellipse tool. I just find it a little bit easier to just click and drag like this and make it the way that I want it. Also, before you select it again, always remember to come back up to your selection tool. And we're probably going to make this, of course, smaller, and then let's just see how it looks in here. Maybe we can make this a little bigger. Yeah, I think this looks good. Okay. I'm just going to copy and paste that, and then this is going to be, of course, white, and the inside will be white, but I think we're going to make it just a little bit transparent. What do we think? What if we made it a little bit transparent and then we made the line outside thicker? Let's see here. And then yeah, I think this will work. Okay, I think this is what I want to go with. So I'm just going to put it inside and try to align it by eyeball as best as I can. To move it over a little bit, I'm just clicking the directional arrows on my keyboard. Okay. Yep, I think those look good. I'm just going to delete that. I'm going to zoom out a bit, and I'm going to rotate the canvas back to normal. Alright. So far we have our date covers. We're doing just fine so far. The next thing that I want to work on are like the decorative boxes, and these are going to probably take the most time. So I'm going to start importing the art that I have for these. And the art, I drew all of this art myself. It's not clip art. So I'm going to bring it in, and these are of course way too huge. So we're going to zoom out, and we're just going to resize them. It's annoying, but it doesn't take long to do. And these are all PNG images. I saved them as PNGs. I drew them on my iPad on Procreate. I'm going to put that one over there. And I'm just clicking and dragging them from the folder into this program. I don't actually know if there's like a easier way to do this. Like I could probably like select all of them and bring them in, but no big deal. I hope you're not judging my artwork too harshly at this point. I think it's cute, you know. Oh boy. Okay, so we have, I think, 7 of these boxes. I'm just counting. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 little art elements brought into here to work with, and I think that should be plenty. So the first thing that I'm gonna do, so the latest silhouette update, anytime that you bring in a PNG, it has red cut lines around it, and we're gonna make those invisible because we don't want the machine to cut these images out. We just want to use them as like decoration. Okay, good deal, good deal. Okay, so now we're gonna start arranging some of our artwork here. I think we'll start with this little cloud buddy. He's super cute, right? So I think he's just gonna go there. And for the background, actually, I think I'm gonna bring in just a little bit more art. Okay, so I've got these little backgrounds here that I didn't bring in. I'm gonna bring these in. And I just made these on Procreate as well with my iPad. Okay. So my idea, I could make the background just a solid color, but I think it would be cuter if I made it this, which looks like the sky. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy and paste this box over here so that I know what size I want, and then I'm gonna use my knife tool just to cut that out. And if you hold shift while you use your knife tool, all of your cuts will be completely straight as you click and drag down. Okay, then I'm gonna go use my selection tool, and look at this. I've cut out the selection that I want. I'm just gonna drag it over here and then move to back. So now we have a super cute little background for our little cloudy buddy here. And I want to move it over. I want to just make everything aligned perfectly. Okay. How adorable. We have our first little decorative box, and I want to just move that in just a little. I love it. Okay. So the next element that I would like to incorporate, I think I want this cute little like galactic boba tea to be in here. Kind of irritating because I think I've drawn the straw on this one way too big. which makes it difficult. Maybe we can like rotate it, make it look like it's floating. Nope, that's not working. And if we shrink it down too much, then I feel like it's losing some of its appeal. Let's try... Let's try something like this. Okay, so I'm gonna align it left. And then I'm going to offset this box. And I'm gonna fill the color with this like blue color. Maybe not blue, maybe more like this color. I don't know, let's click around. Yeah, I think this color will do. Then we're going to select this box and we're going to offset again, but we're going to do an internal offset. And we're going to make it a little bigger. And we're going to make this line white just to add some interest to this design. And then we're going to make it thicker. What if I flip this? No, that looks weird. And I gotta move this up because I don't want it to get cut by the machine. And I could probably add, or attempt to add, like a little bit of drop shadow here. If I fill this with like a deeper color and then move it backward. Or we'll move this forward, bring to front of layer. Here we go. Okay, so now. This kind of adds a little bit of like element to the page, right? And I think we're gonna make it a little bit less dark. Oh, I selected the wrong thing. Yeah, so it sort of has like a little bit of a shadow effect. Oop. I'm going to group those so that I can move them together at the same time. I think that this looks okay. And to be honest, we might move this to a different box to break up some of this color because these two colors are really similar, but I'm not sure yet. We will figure that out when we get there. I'm going to group those so that we can move everything. Oops. Okay, I can't group those. It's acting a little weird when I group them, but we'll figure it out. Okay, next I think we're gonna do the sweater. This cute little sweater. I want to make it as big as possible because these boxes are really small. Okay, I think that looks pretty cute. And I think I can use this background again. It's sort of a gradient, and I think that this really light blue color up here at the top will sort of go really well with it. So I'm going to use my knife tool again. Hold shift as I drag my knife across. And go back to my selection tool, and now we've got a piece of sky that we can use, and then I'm going to drag back over here. And I'm going to send it to the back. I'm just going to move the sweater a little bit. I'm going to shrink it down just a little because I don't want it to have any sort of risk of getting cut by the cut line. And I'm going to make the background just a little bit bigger so that the offset is a little bigger. And I think that's that. That one was pretty simple. I think it looks really cute. Next, I think we're going to focus on the moon. I'm going to make this a little smaller. And I think that the moon here, I want to center it as much as possible. I think that the background for the moon is going to be darker. It's going to be this darker purple from, did I bring it in yet? Yes, it's right here. From this starry background that I made. Because I think that contrast will look really good. Excuse me, I'm trying not to sneeze on you. Yeah, see, I think this looks really nice against that deep purple. So I'm going to make this bigger. And we're going to take one of our boxes here and copy and paste it so that we have our size for reference. And I think I'll just do right here. And I'm going to use my knife tool, and we're just going to cut it out. Now we have our little background. I want to make sure to send it to the back of the layer so that the cut lines come through, and I am going to select it and just make it a little bit bigger just to make sure that the offset is big enough, and then I'm just going to carefully move it so that it's centered. And I'm going to see if I can make the moon just a little bit bigger. I think this looks really cute. But something that I'm thinking is that I kind of want the lines of this to be more blue and bold. So I'm going to see if I can change the lines a little bit. Let's see. I do think that looks pretty good. I'm starting to wonder if this shade of purple is a little bit too dark. So I'm going to see if I can lower the transparency. I think this is a little better. We'll see. I might change that. But for now, we're going to go with that. The next box that I want to do, let's do a simple pattern box. And for that, I'm going to pull in this pattern paper that I made on my iPad using Procreate. And I'm going to bring down the box. Here it is. And I want to get as much of this into this little box as possible, so I'm really shrinking this box down, or this paper down, so that it gets the whole ombre effect. And then I'm just going to go to my knife tool, which I do use a lot. It's super handy. And we're going to cut it out of there. And now we've got our little pattern. Okay. I think that looks pretty good. We only have a couple of boxes left. I really want to use this teacup art. I think this is so pretty. I'm not sure. This might be too big. I think I'm actually going to save this and use it over here on this box somehow. So now let's see. I still have this that I could use. I still have these. I have this that I could pull in, this written in the stars. Let's see, let's pull this in and see what we can do with this little quote. I didn't use this in the sticker kit, so maybe we could do something with it here. Gonna make this way smaller. We're gonna zoom in, and I'm going to make the lines invisible so that the machine doesn't cut them all up. And we're gonna shrink it down and put it in here. Now I'm thinking maybe I could do like a solid color in this box. Let's try it. Maybe we do need a solid color. So I'm gonna go to my offset, and I'm going to, of course, bring that down a lot. And then I'm gonna fill it with a light blue. And I think I'm gonna offset this as well. So what if we did this? What if we offset this and then made it white? I don't think I like that. I'm gonna Control Z to undo everything I've done there. So instead, what I think I'm gonna do, I'm trying to give this text something to stand out against. I don't know how well I'm succeeding right now. Okay, so let me see if I can make this a little bit bigger. I think I like it. I think I like it. The last decorative box, I think, is gonna have these stars. And I think we're gonna pull in like this background again. But now I'm starting to think that this is too much blue together, so I'm wondering if maybe I should make this background a different color. What do we think about the pink? Does this break things up a little bit? Does this look cute? I think so. I like it. And now I'm starting to think that maybe we'll do like this deep background up here as well. Let's just send backward. Okay, so let's, oops. Let's move this and replace it with this. I think this brings a little bit more balance. Yeah, I think I like it. I think that this is what we're gonna go with. So that is the decorative boxes. Next, we're gonna work on these little washi strips. And then these big washi strips. And I think I already know what I want to do for them, but I'm not sure. We'll just have to see how they come out. So I think you already know where we're going with this with my knife tool here. I think I'm going to try to rotate this. Object, rotate. Oh. Yes. Okay. Alright, so now I have this little strip that I can put in here. I'm just going to duplicate it with Control V for copy and paste. And I'm just going to see if I can carefully place it. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. I just want this to be really even. Yeah, alright, I think that this looks good. Now we're gonna work on these washi. Whoops. I'm just gonna Control V and copy and paste it. And for these, let's see. I'm thinking that I'd like to use this, but I've cut it all up, so I'm just gonna import it again. I'm just deleting it, and then let's go back over here and bring it in again. This is not the right box. This is the one I'm working with, right? Yes, okay. So I'm gonna see how this looks. I'm not sure yet. I'm gonna rotate it. See, if I do it like this, it's gonna look really silly and we're only gonna get 2 stars inside of it. So I'm gonna shrink it down a whole lot. And see if we can get some of that, a lot of that pink, I think. I'd like to get some of that pink inside of the kit. Okay, I think that this will work. And I'm not gonna cut much off of the top or bottom, just the sides here, I think. Okay, we have completed the first page of our first ever Hobonichi Weeks sticker kit, and I think it looks really cute. So now let's move on to this page. This page I think is going to be a lot simpler. So these are just going to be like, sort of like blank boxes that you can write in. I have some ideas for how to, I'm going to copy and paste this because I think I'm going to use these little stars. I have some ideas for how to spice it up and add a little bit of interest. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to offset all of these boxes and then bring the offset way, 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 way down. That looks good. Okay. Actually, what just happened? Okay, that's fine. And then all of these are going to be different colors that correspond with the kit. We're going to do some pink, some blue, this sort of cool toned purple. Then I feel like this is a little bit too deep of a color to write on, so I'm gonna avoid anything too deep. I think this bright blue will look cute. Let's also do a pastel pink. And then I think this like bright blue. Yeah, I think this looks good. None of these colors I think are too dark to write on. Sorry, that's my keyboard squeaking against my my mouse mat. Okay. And now to add like some visual interest, I think it would be really cute if I should have done this before. I should have like highlighted all of these. Hold on, maybe I can still do it like that. I'm gonna highlight all of these. And I'm gonna do an internal offset. And we're gonna make these white. Well, not the fill color. Just the lines. We're gonna make these white, and we're gonna make them like a little bit thicker. And then here's a little trick. So I have this little artistic element, right? There are these 3 stars, but they're connected, and I only want one of them. What you can do is you can come to your eraser tool, and you can just you don't even have to erase the entire thing. You can just erase one of the stars and it will break the image up so that all the stars are individual. But so what I want to do, I want to fill this with white so that we have this cute little star. And then what if I made it like really small and sort of centered it so that there's like a cute little star hanging, sort of hanging on the inside of every box. I think that's cute. It could also be like in the corner or in the bottom center. But I think it looks really cute hanging like from the top like that. Yeah, I really love that. I think that's adorable. So I'm gonna make that the same for every single box. I'm just sort of looking as I go, trying to make sure that they're centered really well here. I think that looks really good. And Silhouette probably has tools to do that more perfectly, but I think this looks really good. I'm looking really hard and I can't see anything that looks bad. So I think we're just going to go for it. I think it looks good. Okay, so next we have all of these. These are going to be checklists. And I want these to be like little, I want the check boxes to be stars. So we're going to come to offset again so that we can make them colored. That sounded wrong. Colored. I mean, we want the boxes to have color. We want to add color to them. My apologies. Okay, so we've got that. Now the first one, let's do bright blue. Then maybe purple? No, this is a little too matchy-matchy. So instead I'm going to pull in that bright pink from up here. Now I think I'm going to do this lighter blue. And then I think we can do this color. Then we can do this deeper color. And then lastly, we'll do like the really light pink. Okay. So let me just zoom out and take stock of that. I think that this looks good. I think it's sort of balanced with the deeper colors and the blues and the pinks spread out so that none of it looks overwhelming or clumped up in one place. And now I'm just going to copy and paste my little stars. And this might take a little bit of trial and error. I'm going to move this up a little. And then just to get perfect spacing on these, I'm going to shift and then click them and come to my spacing tool and make sure that they're perfectly spaced, because for checklists, I really do want to make sure that they are right on perfect without any issues, because I want each check to have like the right writing room and to be spaced out so that you can use them. And now I'm just basically copying and pasting them over to each checkbox, and I'm using my blue, like these lines that Silhouette gives you, to make sure that they are where they need to be. I'm just gonna move that one over a little bit. I want to make sure they're really nice and centered. Oops. I am gonna group this, just so that when I copy and paste it, it copies and pastes as a group instead of individual stars for easiness. Okay. Alright, I think that looks really good. Really cute. I've got these icons down here that I sort of just imported in from my Erin Condren sticker kit, and then I've got this here. I'm going to make this bigger. Okay. We'll deal with this in a minute, I think. I need to figure out how I can fill this area. We could probably make a couple of cute dividers. Or we could do like little page flags and then like two really thin little page dividers. Yeah, I think we'll do something like that. Okay, so for page flags, I'm gonna come over here. And we'll do this. We'll do this shape. This looks really rough at first, but we're gonna fix it, okay? So first I'm gonna rotate this. So this is a little bit frustrating because I'm trying to get it completely parallel with my guideline there. And as you can see, it's still a little crooked. Now that is damn near perfect. I don't know if we're gonna get more perfect than that. Now I'm gonna shrink this down a bit, and we're gonna offset this because this shape is a little too angular. Okay, I think this is cuter. This looks like a cute little chubby triangle. I think that as a page flag this is cuter, so I'm gonna delete this at this point. So now we have this. And this is completely like parallel. It's like straight with no issues. So I'm gonna shrink it a little bit. And I'm gonna offset it. And I'm gonna bring the offset way down. Actually, wait, before I do that, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use my replication tool, and we're just gonna replicate this a bunch. And then we're gonna space it out. And this might even be too much. I think we're just gonna take one out and then respace it. Yeah, I think that's better. It's gonna give us more room. Now I'm gonna highlight all of them and I'm gonna offset this. And then bring down the offset a ton. A little bit more than that. So now we can start choosing the colors that go for our page flags here. And we don't have to worry about anything being too dark to write on, because typically you don't write on page flags, you just use them to draw attention to something. So I'm gonna start with this really dark purple color. And then we're gonna do like the dark pink. And then we're gonna do like this color. And then I think we're gonna do a light blue. And then a light purple. And then I think pale pink. And I wonder if this is too much blue close together. It might not bother me. It might not be a big deal. When you zoom out, I don't think it's a big deal at all. You don't even really notice. But I'm wondering if maybe I can switch these. So this one will be this color and this one will be this color. Does this give it a little bit more balance? I think so. Now we're gonna add, I'm just gonna draw a couple of rectangles here. We're gonna add like some cute little like dividers to break up the page. I know that a lot of people really like these on their Hobonichis because the 2.836, yeah, these should be fine. A lot of the right page, the right hand side of a weekly spread in a Hobonichi Weeks is just blank and it has no structure, so adding these can sort of help give a little bit of structure. And then I'm gonna move that up a little bit. I'm gonna offset both of these. And then bring that down. This one I think is gonna be this sort of pretty cloudy blue-purple color, and then this one's gonna be oops, I've selected the wrong box. I need to select the outer box there. I think we'll just do straight up purple for this. Yeah, just 2 shades of purple. I think that looks nice. And I think it would be cute if we put one of our little stars right in the middle of it. Well, if I can grab it. Sometimes this happens, you've got everything clumped together and you can't grab the element that you want to. Okay. Just hit Control Z to undo whatever you moved around. Okay, I'm gonna make this super small. And I'm gonna copy and paste it. I'm just trying to line it up here as best as I can. These are actually 2 different sizes, so I'm gonna delete this. I'm gonna move this down with my arrow key until it's out of the box so that I don't drag the box around. Okay, that's pretty much perfect. That's how I want it. Maybe it could be like the slightest smidge over to the right. Yep, that looks good. And I feel like in a divider, I like the idea of like 2 white lines going out to sort of signify that it is a divider. So I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna draw like a big line. And I'm gonna make it white. And I'm gonna make it thicker. What do we think? What do we think? This is really cute, right? It's like a cute little element to break up the page. Yeah, I think those are really cute. When I zoom out, I feel like these being so close together looks really busy. So I'm gonna see if I can sort of move this up. I might have to move these up a little bit too, which should be fine because there's lots of room there. And then these as well. Now, I can really sort of move this up and give them the breathing room that they deserve. I think they look really cute. Okay, the last element of this kit is going to be this box. I want this to just be sort of like a box that you can write in, like a brain dump section or whatever. So I'm gonna start by moving this to the front, and then I'm gonna offset this and then bring down the offset. And then the color that I want this to be is like this nice lilac color, I think. Maybe. What if we did this? Let's just see. I think we're gonna go with the blue. I think the blue looks good with this artwork. And you can write on the blue and it will look good. It won't be too dark to write on. So now I'm gonna do an internal offset. And I want this to be white. And I want the thickness to be like really, really thick. And then I want to move this there. I think this looks so good. It like really is standing out against the page. And we could do like some like lines. So, okay, what if we took this and we drug this out like a lot? And then made it like thinner. And then made it a little shorter. How does this look? Yeah, I think that this looks nice. So now I want these to sort of be like guidelines for writing. So I'm going to use my replication tool and we're just going to replicate this. Whoops. If it will. Fill page. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. So I'm just gonna bring this down. Oops. I'm gonna make sure they're perfectly aligned using the alignment tools. I'm just sort of placing a few to start with. And we'll fix all of this, don't worry. Okay, so let's try this. We're gonna select the lines and now we're going to make them like perfectly spaced. Whoop. Okay, that spacing is good. Then we're gonna group it. And now let's see if we can replicate it correctly. Yeah, see? Would you look at that? That's better. I like how some of the lines are a little bit thicker than others too. I don't know why, but I like that. Now I'm gonna ungroup this so that I can select one individual line. And I'm gonna copy and paste it and just bring it down here. And then I'm gonna bring this up. And then we're gonna ungroup everything. Because we're gonna have to do like a little bit of adjusting here. Okay, so now I'm gonna have to zoom in. And I'm gonna have to shift and select every line individually. Okay, that's everything. And now we're going to space them out vertically, perfectly, like they need to be. We're gonna take out the extras, don't worry. And now, just gonna delete the extras. Now, perfectly spaced lines for writing. And I don't want them to go over the teacup, so we're just gonna bring the teacup to the front. And that's it. That's the completed kit. This is our first ever Hobonichi Weeks sticker kit. I really hope that this was helpful, that you learned something, that you found it entertaining. If you could give me a subscription, like subscribe to my channel, like this video, share it, that would be so incredibly helpful to me. My channel is really, really small. So yeah, look how nice this looks. We've got everything we need here. So when it prints, this is what you'll see. You've got your kit here. I think it looks really super cute. I'll have to move those. I don't want that to print. I'll take that off of the design space. And whenever you print it, you want to make sure that you've got your registration marks on, and I have to have mine down pretty low, otherwise my machine will not read anything. And just in case you're curious, so whenever you send it to the printer, you want to basically deselect everything except for the red line so that it will only cut the red lines. Deselect absolutely everything, and then even go to fill and deselect everything just so that your silhouette doesn't glitch and cut anything that you don't want it to. And then go to layer and deselect everything in layer. At least this is what I do so that my silhouette machine doesn't get confused. You know, silhouette machines are annoying. So now it should only cut the red lines where we've indicated. And the cut settings that I use cut, and then I use my manual blade, and I use it on 1 with a force of 9, and I do 2 passes. And that is what I do, and I find that it cuts really nicely with the sticker paper that I use. I use the sticker paper from Online Labels. I use both the regular quality and the premium matte, which on Online Labels I believe is like the weatherproof. It's called like weatherproof for inkjet, which is what is like your premium matte. And that's it. And then you just, after you've printed it out, you put it onto your mat and load it into your silhouette and hit send, and it will cut really nicely. I really hope that this helped. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you watching. If you have any questions about silhouettes or stickers or designing or anything like that, leave it in the comments. I'll do my best to help you out. I hope that you have a really great day. Bye.